the great thing about sailing is it takes time. And not only does it take time, but you can't be on a schedule. And, you know, if you do make plans, you better be prepared for them to change. It's kind of the absolute opposite of the lifestyle I've been living for the last 15 years. And it's been tough. There's lots of lessons in that. You're not in control of things as you would like to be sometimes. And so there's a lot of growth edges, if you like, in terms of even at my ripe old age. I'm Mike Ridgway. I'm the owner of the Nordhavn N76 Spirit of Ulysses. So I guess this journey starts in early September. Our first trip, our short trip, was up to Alicante, and we checked that out, and then across to the Balearic Islands. And then we headed across the Med to Barcelona. We hit some pretty rough weather for the first time. Well, for us it was rough, probably 3.5 meter swells. It was just a great opportunity to see what the boat was capable of and start giving me confidence in the boat and how she was going to go. Because of course I'd heard it from many different people that the boat could cope much more than what we could. So we were pretty impressed with ourselves as we entered Gibraltar, because we managed to just miss out on some pretty ugly weather. The next 2 or 3 days were pretty calm, and we had a great run into Gran Canaria and managed to berth in Lanzarote, and took a well-earned rest before the rest of the team from Nordhavn arrived. So before becoming a sailor, I ran a company. I started a company in the software industry. And I did that for the last sort of 15 years, ran it as chief executive. It was, as you can imagine, trying to build a kind of global business in New Zealand involved lots of travel. And what was extraordinary was how much traveling I did. I went to all these places, but rarely got to see anything. So again, this is the great thing about sailing, is it takes time. I had no sailing experience at all. The motivation specifically for sailing, for me, it was about finding something I could do that kind of really filled the kind of void, if you like, that happens after you retire. And I think that for me was the motivation, was the fact that I wanted to find something to do that I'd never done before, that had a big learning curve, that would kind of consume my energy rather than risk kind of doing what a lot of people find themselves doing, either going back to work after they've retired, or kind of being on the board or being a consultant. I really didn't want to do any of those things. I wanted to do something new. So we spent about another week in Lanzarote, and by this time the Nordhavn team had joined us, and kind of relaxed and resupplied, provisioned, ready for the next leg of the trip down to Cape Verde.
Gracias por todo. Hasta luego.
Hasta la próxima. Couldn't be so close and miss out on visiting the volcano at Las Palmas. That was extraordinary to see, and we were able to get within just about 2 miles away. destination, we spent probably 45 minutes, an hour there, and then continued south down to Cape Verde.
No, but it doesn't matter.
You can answer.
It's that.
Yeah, we arrived in Cape Verde. Again, some very dramatic landscape there, and managed to refuel. So Cape Verde was kind of a special place for me. It was it just felt different. It felt like a sort of a sailor's private kind of place where you've got this transience in terms of people coming in and out. Casual bar right on the marina where we ate and had a couple of beers, but it definitely had that sort of feel that not many people kind of get to see. And again, that's the advantage of these sort of sailing trips, is you go to places that you'd never go to. You know, everybody's been to, or lots of people have been to the big cities of the world, but you know, hopefully for my grandchildren, telling them about this time when I was in Cape Verde would, you know, that kind of makes it special, especially for me who's done a fair bit of traveling. But having refueled, added another nearly 9,000 litres, we started the journey to Barbados. I was at a dinner party and we were, as you often do in your kind of late 30s, we were talking about bucket lists and things that we wanted to do with our lives and events that we wanted to experience. And I said that I wanted to do motorbike adventures throughout Asia and actually the States as well. So a buddy of mine called me out and said, hang on, you don't really want to do those things. I'm saying, yeah, I do. No, you don't. No, you don't. I said, well, why? It's because you haven't even got your motorbike license. And it was very profound for me, because you can have dreams, and I had this dream of doing it, but I had no intent, I had no commitment to fulfill it. And of course, I left that dinner party kind of shocked at myself and went on to get my motorbike license, and then I kind of traveled through Europe on adventure treks, whether Thailand and Cambodia and so on. And those events were just extraordinary experiences that I would or may never have had I not had that dinner party experience. And that's kind of motivated me in terms of, having other adventures. And certainly on the motorbikes, the guys I traveled with were way better than I was. And there's that real sense of inadequacy in terms of learning a new skill, exploring, you know, enjoying the adventure, but always a constant challenge. We're traveling from Cape Verde to Barbados, which is about 2,000 nautical miles. So it's been amazing just to be out in the ocean and to be kind of under your own steam, kind of under your own direction, working together as a team and kind of coming together and eating together and just getting to know each other, getting to know the boat and just seeing just a part of the world that most people don't get to see. So after arriving in Barbados, the next plan is really to see some of the Caribbean and the Bahamas, and then ultimately, you know, thinking about traveling through Panama, Galapagos, all the way home. I mean, it's a long journey, so we'll have to see how we feel and you know, what we do for crew and all those sorts of things. But certainly got the bug, loving the sailing. Most of all, I think I love being at anchor on a still night and just kind of being in a bay with, you know, it's nice and quiet. That is just, for me, the best part of sailing.